by design, because the powers that want to be do not want you to connect these dots together, because if you did, you'd figure it out.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
everything is figure outable and everything is healable
Mm-hmm.
because it's mind. The universe is mental.
Mm-hmm.
When you figure that out and you learn how to think properly and how to work your energy field so that you actually tap into the true creation field, not the matrix,
Yeah.
it's a game changer.
All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if it's your first time. I'm here with an exciting guest, except for an exciting interview conversation. This is Mars. We'll just go by Mars. Keep it a little simple, but that is short for Marja. Marja, did I say
Yes,
that right? Yes. So,
yes.
cool. So this is your first time on the channel. We were connected recently through a mutual friend, and I'm just grateful for that connection and to just hear more of your story and your work and however whatever direction this conversation seems to take.
Okay,
So
cool.
cool. So all right. So I have like my list of questions and I'll kind of just start from the beginning. So you have a colorful spiritual path and background, it seems like. And just from the bit that I've read about you online. So what started that? What was the first step on that path for you?
Well, it was a lot of violent abuse in my
Mm.
childhood. I
Mm-hmm.
was raised by a man-hating, sociopath, narcissistic psycho
Mm.
who was really hell-bent on like breaking me.
Mm.
And in order for me to survive that kind of I mean, it was systematic. I have early memories of her just doing a beat down, and that was normal. And I don't quite know what it was within her. I am the result of a one night stand.
Okay.
So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that she was a survivor of war.
Mm.
So maybe it was a lot of mitigating circumstances. I mean, I've endeavored to like have a lot of compassion for her on her story, but it just got to the point where, for me, as a little girl, as a little baby, a toddler, I was so aware of the world, the universe, of nature.
Mm.
And so I knew that this reality that I was in, that there was a contrasting reality that actually existed because I lived in a very beautiful place.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had people around me who were kind and loving, in contrasting to this raging psycho mother. And all I wanted really was for her to love me and accept me. Like it just didn't make sense why she hated me so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a younger brother, so we have the same mother, different fathers. And the way she treated him was so markedly different from how she regarded me.
Mm-hmm.
I had to instill a lot of tools. So I've always been very quite psychic, very quite intuitive, very, very tuned in to nature and the other realms.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my light being friends that would, but I mean, they were all over me.
Yeah.
So they were all over. No one else could see them except for my nanny. So it
Mm.
was really
Wow.
my nanny,
Oh.
Magda, who, like, bless her heart, she was very intuitive. She was very tuned in to nature and to my reality. And we have the same perception abilities to look beyond normal reality and so she was really my protector of sorts until she was fired.
Oh
And
no.
eventually she did. She got fired, terminated, and then I was on my own. And so what I did was leave my body a lot. So I learned
Mm,
how to leave my body. I learned how to really transcend the war zone that I was in, which was my home, and to pretend I was a fairy. And that's what I did. I pretended I was a fairy princess, literally,
I love
and
that.
not always a nice one. So
Yeah.
I had like my dark days where I felt suicidal. I felt like I wanted revenge. I felt like I wanted to act out, but it wasn't really in my nature, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So I just did a lot of escape. I
Mm,
escaped into nature. I was very fond of the stars outside. So I would literally leave the house in the middle of the night
mm,
and either go up to the roof or go out onto my balcony and like look at the night sky and kind of feel like I want to go home. And um
mm.
interestingly enough, I had an experience where I kind of I remember looking up at the night sky and thinking, "Whoa, is it a hole?" Like, I
Mm-hmm.
noticed there was this sort of gritting, and I couldn't figure out, am I imagining this or is this actual?
Mm,
And I remember just focusing in on this one area of the sky,
mm-hmm.
and it was a western facing, and thinking there's a hole, and started thinking down the possibility. And I loved a lot of science fiction, so that we were in some simulation.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it was spiritual, but a lot of it triggered a lot of existential questions about the nature of reality, the nature of this, why were people so mean.
Mm,
um and then immigrating to America and having to learn English, that was a whole other thing.
yeah.
And it was in the middle of the Vietnam War. I grew up in the 60s. So
Mm-hmm.
as far as context here, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna be 66 in 2 months.
Wow. Oh my
So
God.
it
You look
it
amazing. I'm sorry.
well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I think the reason is that I never really integrated well into normal reality.
Mm,
It was like, no. And I've seen my peers.
mm-hmm.
Last year I had to sign up for Medicare. I mean, this is what you do in America. And it's
Yeah.
like, holy shit. Okay, so I go into a Medicare meeting and I'm seeing these are my peers, and these people are fucked up.
Yeah.
They can't walk. They can't, they're immobile, they're obese, they're unhealthy, and I'm walking there, I've got shorts on and a tank
Yeah.
top, and I'm thinking, "Holy, this is
Yeah.
not good." And
Yeah.
people are asking me, "What are you doing here?" And I'm going, signing up. I gotta know what my choices are." So these are the sort of contrasting things
Yeah.
that I realized that the world, while I was growing up, this was perception managed. And
Mm,
because I was into all the sort of mind expansion TV shows, like during that era. The
mm-hmm.
Outer Limits
Mm,
uh, was a really crazy, crazy kind of thing. The
yeah.
Prisoner,
Mm-hmm.
uh, um, it's Star Trek, of course. I wasn't really
Yeah.
into Star Trek. I was more into Lost in Space. So
Okay.
that was
I've heard
another
of that.
one.
Yeah.
The Addams Family. So
Oh
I
yeah.
liked all that stuff. The vampire werewolf movie, Dark Shadows. I was totally, totally into it.
Yeah.
And so as a result, feel like I escaped a lot of the Matrix, even
Mm,
though you're always part of the Matrix because this is the setup.
right.
And you have to learn how to waltz in and out of it. You can never actually leave it
Yeah.
because the world is not the planet. The world is the matrix. The
Mm.
planet is a whole different thing. And you have
Mm.
to be aligned with its nature. And what I notice about nature is it doesn't give two shits about how you feel. It doesn't
Yeah.
care. It's
Mhm.
it's either you're either going to survive or it's going to take you out. You're going to be friendly with it or you're going to fight against it and
Yeah.
bump up against it, push up against it.
Mhm.
And so I've just learned to work with nature. I've stopped pushing up against the matrix.
Mm.
It's entertainment, you know. I mean, just the stuff that
Yeah.
goes in the news and politics and uh, pop culture. I call it poop culture because
Pop
that's what it is.
culture. Yeah, it
It's
is.
just not even real. And most
Yeah.
people are stuck in the matrix, and the
Mhm.
matrix is going to tell you who and what you are
Mhm.
based on what everybody else is doing. And you get into that cycle of comparing yourself with all the stupid celebrities and all that dumb celebrity worship. I
Yeah.
mean, I've learned to roll my eyes without moving them because everybody is free to be who they are. You can do whatever you want to do.
Right.
Um, and I get to be different from everybody else. So
Yeah.
that has kind of saved me. But going back to your question about the
Mhm.
spirituality,
Mhm.
it it's not so much spirituality as it is aligning with nature and
Mhm.
understanding the nature of reality and how it works.
Mhm.
Understanding where you are in this matrix world,
Mhm.
that it is perception managed.
Mhm.
And what you have to do is you have to get hold and own your attention.
Yes.
You can't let it get harvested by your abuse, by, the voices in your head,
Yeah.
by the shit that's going on out
Out
in
there.
the world.
Yeah.
You have to be in your awakened center screen.
Yeah.
That's where it is. That is what spiritual awakening is. It's not, oh, suddenly enlightened and oh my God, my life is so perfect. My relationships, I don't have cellulite on my ass. It's stupid. This is
Yeah.
what people think. I mean, this is
It
that new
is.
age nonsense that
Mhm.
when you're spiritually awakened, you've got your shit together and you're better than everybody else. It's like, stop.
Mhm.
It's nonsense.
Yeah.
Complete, utter garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, and
And I just laugh.
they've even infiltrated, like, the matrix, the outside forces have even infiltrated what spirituality is and new age stuff to paint that
Oh yeah.
picture and have that appear as a certain way to
Oh
create
yeah. Oh
more
yeah.
false
The
narratives. Yeah.
Satanists figured out how to do it.
Mhm.
And they have weaponized it because the Satanists, and I don't mean people who are worshiping the devil. I'm
Mhm.
talking about people who know about psychology, who know about the power of
Mhm.
being able to trigger and manipulate people's
Mhm.
minds that are too weak to get hold of their attention and own it.
Yeah.
People who are they're just lazy.
Yeah.
They don't know any better. They'd much rather follow other people than take responsibility for the choices or the non-choices that they make.
Yeah.
And the elites have figured it out. And
Yes,
so
they have.
everybody that's stuck in the matrix and is unaware that there's another way to go about it and to actually live a life where you don't conform to aging. You don't conform to all these health scares,
Mhm. Right.
because you don't fall in line. You
Mhm.
don't do what everybody else is doing. You don't
Mhm.
pay attention. You don't give it any credence whatsoever. And that's hard
It is
because,
hard.
our first cult, and I say this to all my clients, is your family of origin. And your family of origin is either going to uplift you or they're going to just slap you down.
Oh yeah.
And no, 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 no. Well, all of us in our family, we don't do that kind of thing. We don't get better.
Yeah.
You know, we're just loyal to the end. and
Yeah.
I just don't I don't buy it.
Hmm. Wow, I love absolutely everything you said, and I am gonna get to like more questions and stuff. But I just wanna I can relate to growing up with a narcissistic mother. I was the product of an affair,
Mhm. Okay,
and
you too.
yeah, it wasn't a one. Well, it might have been a one night stand, but there was an ongoing relationship. And maybe when I was conceived was just a one night thing, and that affair was kept hidden, and I didn't know, so not to make it about me or anything, but I can relate a lot to your story and my mom
Yeah.
holding on to this secret and this fear and this anger and this hatred,
Yes.
um, which turned into abuse. And it wasn't immediately in my childhood. It was late when I got kind of older, but in my childhood, I could also relate to the escapism aspect that you mentioned. And also, I had a nanny who was very magical. Like, I
Mhm.
swear she was a fairy too. And I was obsessed
Yeah,
with fairies myself. Like, I would go out and make
love
fairy
it.
houses. I had all
Yeah.
sorts of probably light beings, but just imaginary friends, that I would talk to.
Mhm.
And this nanny was an artist, and she would help me, like you said, just similar to your story, she would help me to make art and to draw fairies and to use my imagination. And she
Yes.
was the first one who told me I was aware, and I didn't know what that meant at the time.
Yes.
I'm looking back, I can see, that she saw that in me, because she had it in herself. And I had chills when you said that about your nanny earlier too. Like, that's
Yeah.
incredible. And also, I can relate to, finding compassion for my mom too. And I don't hold on to the anger anymore. I don't hold on to any of that, because I can't. It just, it's
Yeah.
not good. And
It doesn't fulfill you one bit, and
right.
it will make you sick, it will age you so
Yes.
fast
Yeah.
and just suck the life out of you.
Yeah.
It's just pointless.
It is. It is. And ultimately, like, she's still my mom, like, she's still alive. Like, we don't have a great relationship, but like, I do try to talk to her. But anyways, I won't
Yeah,
make turn
yeah,
it into that. But
yeah,
but I can relate a lot to
yeah.
just
It's a devastating, dynamic in a relationship, and I know that for myself, it still haunts various relationships that I have.
mm-hmm,
Even in my current relationship, I am
mm-hmm,
by no means perfect in
mm-hmm,
my personal relationships. They are a struggle.
mm-hmm,
My sort of eh, the living edge of my relationships is really learning about that it's okay for me to say no, and it's
mm-hmm,
okay for me to not rescue people.
yeah,
So because of my the abuse, and because of the really just the devastating damage
mm-hmm,
uh that was as the result of my mother, and just her darkness, I have attracted one narcissist, sociopath, psychopath after another.
yeah,
And for those of you who are new with the work of, I call them NSPs, I think they're really essentially the same.
mm-hmm,
Narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths are essentially the same. They're criminals. They
yeah,
are criminals.
mm-hmm,
Some of them are covert, some of them are just full on in your face.
mm-hmm,
And if you let them, they will take you out, they will ruin you.
yeah,
And so, what I've had to learn is that empathy and compassion are traps. And
mm-hmm,
you have to watch yourself. You have to really safeguard what it is. And I'm always, I mean, up until last year,
mm-hmm,
up until the end of last year,
mm-hmm,
uh, I really, I really was desperately clinging on to the notion that every human being is a good person underneath it all. They are not.
mm,
I can full on 1000% tell you it is not true. They are not good. There are some really bad people out there, and
Yeah.
they thrive on people like me, people who have empathy and compassion,
Yeah.
who wanna see humans as basically good-hearted. They thrive, and they will manipulate, and they will get away with what they will get away. They're grifters,
Yeah.
and if you can take anything that I have said to heart, take that to
Take
heart
that. Yeah.
and save yourself because uh, I've literally just had my life gutted so many times, well, a handful of times, five
Mhm.
times
Mhm.
to be exact,
Mhm.
by an NSP
Mhm.
who, and here's the clever thing about these NSPs,
Mhm.
they will appear to be the nicest, most compassionate, most
Yes.
loving people. And then one day, it'll be a year down the line, 3 years down the line, 5 years down the line,
Mm.
10 years down the line. All of a sudden, the gloves are off and you actually see their true form.
Mm.
And it is the most chilling, gut-wrenching moment you will ever come across. If you have that experience, it will be
Yeah.
unmistakable.
Yeah.
And then you've got to figure out how to get away.
Right. Yeah, I think that's important for people that are empaths and full of compassion and love, and not those NSPs to be
Mhm.
aware of, because it does
Yeah.
attract it.
Yeah.
And maybe it doesn't attract it forever, but it will for a long time, until you do something different, or are able to shift your reality, or change your alignment, or wake up, or whatever is involved, do the
Yes.
shadow work, in order to not attract that anymore.
Mhm. Yeah.
And sometimes, like you said, it comes as a disguise, and you're
Yeah.
like mask on mask on mask until you see the true form. And then you're like, oh, okay, this was just a repeated pattern under more layers.
Yeah.
So
Yes. And for myself, I mean, taking responsibility for
yeah.
this, there's always a child involved. So,
Mm,
um, I did not have children of my own, but I raised 4 stepchildren.
okay.
So, and there was no way I was going to slack off as a parent. So I have devoted myself to these little beings. And
Mm-hmm.
the first time around, I was very, very young. And it came on the heels of my own exploration of what it is that I had gone through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also being, and I didn't know it at the time, being on the spectrum.
Mm,
I masked a lot of my autism through uh I call it feigned competence. So I
okay.
pretended I knew what I was doing. And
Yeah.
I looked great because I could copy, I had role models. So I would
Sure.
copy what it was they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd find out and I would study it. I'd
Hmm.
study it and go, okay, so socially, I need to not slouch.
Yeah.
I need to dress for success. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, during the 80s, this is what you did. You dressed for success.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you have children, you have to have your shit together because there
Right.
was no way I was going to neglect a child. There was no way I was going to look like a slacker. There
Mm-hmm.
was no way I was going to look incompetent.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I always positioned myself. I was either in charge
Mm-hmm.
or I was the teacher, or I was the expert, or I was the whatever,
Mm-hmm.
the leader.
Mm-hmm.
So putting yourself in that, and because I was always on my own, I didn't know the difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
I just pushed myself out there.
Yeah.
Um, and it wasn't even that I was acting. I
Mm-hmm.
was actually really, really doing it, but in my mind, it's like, okay, well, I better pull this off or they're gonna find out that, I'm scared shitless
Yeah.
and maybe I don't know what I'm doing.
Hmm.
Um, but I did a lot of really cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I actually repeated some of the things that I experienced growing up. Like when I was 12, I had a neighbor who was moving. For whatever reason, give me a box of books. One was the Kabbalion.
Wow.
One was Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz.
Uh-huh.
One, there were 5 books of Neville Goddard. I don't know if you're familiar with Neville
I am.
Goddard, but
Yes.
he's a New Thought reality creator.
Mhm.
Um, Lord of the Rings, which I'd already read at that
Mhm.
point, and I'm just like, so with my kids, my
Mhm.
stepkids, I had them start reading the Kabbalion,
Mhm.
and so
Wow.
and a lot of my peers with the kids were
Mhm.
putting them in front of the boob tube and
Yeah,
watching
the boobs.
television. We had
Yeah.
experiences. We read, we gardened together. We would make menus for,
Mm.
how what we were going to eat and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. One of my stepsons was vegan. He was gonna, so yeah, that was a whole other thing. And I was vegan at the time, so
Yeah.
we bonded on a lot of food prep kind of stuff. And
Mhm.
so, but because of all the triggers, and my stepdaughter in particular, Angelina,
Mhm.
she was a heroin baby. Her mother was an
Mm.
addict.
Mm.
And so there were a lot of really emotional outbursts kind of things. I mean, she was not regulate. Her nervous system was a wreck. She was a physical wreck from
Mm.
all of the drugs in
Mhm.
utero. And so I was really tasked to, okay, well, what can I do to try to turn this around so that we can invoke magic? So,
Mm.
like, we had 2 3-word phrases.
Mhm.
One was stop, drop, think. So when you're starting to get upset, to
Mhm.
stop, drop the emotion.
Mm.
Drop the emotion. The way we dropped it is we started naming our emotions,
Mhm.
little monsters, whatever,
Mhm.
and think, like, think about what's going on. And the other
Yeah.
one was hocus pocus focus,
Oh, I love that.
where it's like, okay, you don't like the reality, you don't like what's going on right now.
Mhm.
How do you want it to go?
Right.
And to think about that. So early on, I had them thinking about, well, how can this be different?
Mhm.
And it's not that you're not changing what's happening up. It's done. It's a
Yeah.
done deal. So I taught them that you're changing the upcoming frame,
Yeah. Mm.
so sort of looking at as a movie, as your life as a movie, moment to moment to moment,
Yeah.
So um
That's so
that was really,
wonderful.
really fun. So we did a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Does any of that part, so now I'm going to get into a little bit about transurfing, but does
Mhm.
any part of what you were teaching your children, is that transurfing?
Totally transurfing.
Okay. Yeah.
Neville Goddard is
Hmm.
teaching transurfing.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah,
Uh, you
I'm kind of
know,
familiar with him, but I haven't
yeah,
read much
and
of his stuff.
the law of attraction, not so much. I saw The Secret, I read The Secret, and I'm like, you guys are just really leading people down a primrose path because they're not
Mm.
giving you the whole deal. They're giving
Yeah.
you parts of it so that you can chase your tail around and keep signing up for these stupid classes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Honestly.
and so
So
and what's really, really cool about the Hocus Pocus Focus
yeah.
is that we are actually, all of us, every one of us, we have the same abilities. It's just dormant.
Mhm.
We have forgotten how to do it
Mhm.
because we've been mind controlled into believing that the Matrix tells you what reality is.
Yes.
Pop culture tells you what reality is.
Yeah.
And by celebrity worship,
Mhm.
you're just feeding your creative life force to these people they haven't even figured it out. They're
Right.
just yes people
Yeah.
for the money
Mm.
machines.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just all being used,
Yeah.
and whatever. But we each have what I call, in Transurfing, it's called the plate, the plot, or the braid.
Okay.
Carlos Castaneda called it the assemblage point.
The assemblage point.
I call it the wizard staff
Okay.
or the magic wand.
Okay.
Because what you're doing with the magic wand is you are actually tapping into the creation field
Mm-hmm.
of the true quantum field creation field universe, not the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
You're tapping into that with your intention, not your desire. And that's the thing, is that the law of attraction has bullshit people
Mm-hmm.
into thinking that you dream it, you want it, you desire it, that's all it takes. No, no, absolutely not. Don't want, don't desire, don't dream. It doesn't fucking work.
Mm-hmm.
You have to intend. That means you choose the reality. You
Yeah.
take your magic wand and you plug into that reality,
Mm.
period.
So is that how
And
you
it
would
happens.
describe? Is that how you would describe what transurfing is?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
So in Transurfing, every reality exists already.
Mm.
You just have to line up with it.
Yeah.
You have to choose it with your intention, not want it, not desire it, not dream it.
Yeah.
Those three things, you're just gonna be chasing your tail, chasing your tail.
Yeah.
It's pointless.
Yeah.
And it's a powerful thing. And here's the other key. You cannot plug into the true quantum field creation field universe unless you are in your center screen, your awakened screen. Because if you're doing it and you're reacting to the outer screen of the matrix or to the shit going on in your head that you're going, no, I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to work
Yeah.
because you're trying to create from being sound asleep and unconscious and reactive.
Mm-hmm.
You're not choosing.
Right.
You're in the matrix.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So I've okay. Let me get to another question
Yeah.
here because I'm curious about your matrix experience. So, um, okay. So I recently had an experience where it was actually a meditation that Fryer gave me, and I have been doing it. I'm doing it like for 30 days, and I've been aware of the matrix. I feel like I've been on the brink and stuff. And then after doing this meditation the other night, I had this thought just pop into my brain, or some voice that was like, "Congratulations, you have exited the matrix." And I was like, I felt it. Like I was like, it was this new level of perception and awareness that I'd maybe peaked in before, but this was like a
Mhm.
whole, like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah.
I felt it, and I don't it's not like I feel it all the time now afterwards or anything. It has to be very conscious, but it's really been and still is sort of this reintegration of like, okay, well, now let's move forward with more intention, and how do we navigate like going forward? So, okay, so many questions are circulating through my brain. I was trying to narrow them down. But as far as transurfing, what's your background on that? We'll start there, and then we'll kind of get
Right.
into that a little bit. But
So I was introduced to transurfing when I was visiting two of my oldest, dearest friends, Irina and Svetlana, in Bulgaria, in Sofia, Bulgaria. This was in end of 2004, early 2005.
okay,
And they have this book. It was in German.
mm-hmm.
I can read German,
Mm-hmm.
and they gave it to me. This is right up your alley, and I'm like, this is interesting. And it took a long time, and I realized I'm doing this shit already. Holy crap! And right around that time, The Secret came out.
Oh yeah, mm-hmm.
And I just remember going, oh my God, the Deem Zalen has got this down. Neville Goddard would be proud of him, And I'm thinking, Yeah, this is all BS, and I just remember, just this feeling of, "All right, this is gonna become commonplace," and of course it didn't.
Yeah, right.
The Matrix won
Yeah.
with the law of attraction and The Secret,
Hmm.
you know? And in my opinion, I feel like that book and the law of attraction, the Secret were sort of new age BS creations to
Hmm.
really hijack even more the um the spiritual junkie um
Mm.
archetype
Mm. Hmm.
where you're just chasing. It's that workshop jumpy junkie kind of thing. I'm going to take this, I'm going to take that, da, da, da.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. Okay.
Hmm.
I have done well, actually that's not true.
Hmm.
I did a lot of trainings. I did a lot
Okay.
of trainings. I don't know if you know the human design,
I'm
that
familiar with
whole
it. I've
thing.
done my own, yeah, like
Yeah, yeah.
chart and
So
stuff.
I'm an investigator.
Okay.
And so in my work, I don't offer anything to anyone unless I've done it myself.
Mm.
I
Hmm.
just feel like you can't bullshit your way through. And I've been
Yeah.
at this, I'll be going into my 40th year
Wow. Yeah.
doing my thing.
Hmm.
And so I've been doing this since I was 27. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's like, and the longevity of it is because it's the real deal.
Hmm.
And I don't pretend it's mine. I'm a caretaker
Hmm.
of the work that I do
Hmm.
because it is a mixture of all these disciplines,
Yeah.
ancient disciplines
Hmm.
that have been sequestered on their own.
Hmm.
And it's by design because the powers that want to be do not want you to connect these dots together because if you did, you'd figure it out.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
everything is figure outable and everything is healable
Hmm.
because it's mine. The universe is mental.
Hmm.
When you figure that out and you learn how to think properly and how to work your energy field so that you actually tap into the true creation field, not the matrix.
Yeah.
It's a game changer,
Hmm.
you know. So that was how I first learned about transurfing, and then of
Hmm.
course I've been in and out of communities. Um, there are some people that are endeavoring to hijack it,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
thankfully, the Dean has put these people on the blacklist because there's
Good.
always somebody that
Yeah.
is a greedy little biatch from hell
Yeah.
and wants to hijack things
Hmm.
in such a way that there's no integrity. And fine, go do you, boo. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Um, but there's a big difference. There's a big difference, you know and so it's been really quite fantastic,
Yeah.
and it doesn't make you exempt from tragedy, death, grief,
Right.
loss. You're not going to be exempt from that.
Right.
And I think that's what a lot of people want to kid themselves about is that and then believing that exiting the matrix is a one-off. It's not.
Mm-mm.
What is waltzing in and out of the matrix is your consciousness.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You own your attention and you're here, and what you're experiencing is a longer duration of center screen reality,
Mm.
which is the true
Hmm.
quantum field creation field universe.
Yeah. 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 It
That's what it
is.
is. Because I catch myself falling asleep all the time,
Mm.
because I'm tripping out about what I'm witnessing out on the streets or whatever, or tripping out, about something going on in my head,
Yeah.
listening to my mother. I mean, she comes up every now and again. It's like, oh my God, really?
Yeah. Yeah,
You're
so does
still
mine.
talking to
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, I mean mine's still alive, but even the voices in my head like come back and bring me right back to it. And
Mhm.
then it's another
Yeah,
process of just
yeah,
detaching and
yeah. So transurfing it is a constant practice. That is my spiritual practice.
mhm,
You have to wake yourself up, see reality, exit the matrix, get back into your center screen.
mm,
It's ongoing. It's
mhm.
repetitive. You're going to do it a gazillion times and it's still not going to be perfected. That's
Do you have a daily routine that you use
Yes,
to
I
do
have a
that?
moment to moment to moment routine. So
Okay.
I prepave my day. The first thing in the morning
Mhm.
is I look around my room and I do it's a thought ball of
Mhm.
waking myself, seeing reality, waking
Mhm.
myself, seeing reality, exiting the matrix
Mhm.
and getting into my center screen and activating my magic wand, my braid,
Mm.
my plate, the plot,
Mhm.
the assemblage point, whatever, the wizard staff, whatever works for you.
Mhm.
And in transurfing, we supposedly have an appendage. It's your magic wand. It's almost like your wings. Your wings. I
Yeah.
liken it to the wings.
I like the
And
very analogies.
so
Yeah.
many of us have been clipped,
Yeah.
literally clipped by the powers that want to be
Mhm.
because if we can, and I believe we can regrow them. So
Yeah.
I
Sure.
fly around constantly.
Yeah.
So but these wings, that assemblage points, if you activate it and you activate it by feeling, by visualization, some people are great at visualizing what it is that they are choosing.
Mhm.
Some people are great at the feeling of what it is that they are choosing and the results of that.
Mhm.
Um, the one, whatever it is, whatever works for you, it's that practice. And when you plug into it, it's electrifying
Yeah.
because it's alive. The
Mm.
Matrix is dead, kids,
Yeah. I love that. It
because the
is.
Matrix is taking from you.
Mm.
You're feeding it. It is feeding off of you. The true quantum field,
Mhm.
no, 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 no. It is you're activating creation
Yeah.
by tapping into it.
Yeah. And by flapping your wings.
Exciting.
Yeah. So, do you feel okay? When did you when was there a moment where you feel like you finally, and I know it's an on again off again thing, but when you first like exited the matrix or like found that shift in perception to be like, "Oh shit," or was it in childhood when that happened?
It was definitely in childhood.
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
Definitely in childhood.
Mhm.
Where I realized, wow, I'm on my own here.
Yeah.
I seem to be the only one who cares
Mm.
that this is possible.
Mhm.
And it was just a lot of magical personal moments
Mhm.
amidst this contrasting experience of the psycho just screaming or throwing things at me or being down on the ground and getting beaten,
Yeah.
and being able to shift my perception, my reality,
Mhm.
so that I wasn't in this disempowered,
Mm.
beaten up place.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain that.
Yeah, but like
Um,
a detachment from that
yes,
physical experience and mental and emotional,
yes,
like just that separation, which
yeah,
I'm sure like you said led to the out of body experiences that you had as a child too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And So, do you feel now that with your experience with transurfing and the work that you do and everything that you have like intentionally crafted and curated the life that you now live?
Pretty much.
Mhm.
I pretty much
Cool.
have.
Yeah.
I have led a very blessed life.
Mhm.
It's also been a very, traumatic, dramatic life,
Mhm.
and it's only been, I'd say, perhaps in the last, few years that I have really just kind of settled um, into a part of my life where I'm really just focusing in on what's important in terms of my work and in terms of, my own personal growth.
Yeah.
Um, I've been out in the world intensely. So I've traveled to over 110 countries.
Amazing.
Um, I've done a lot of things. I've had a career as a musician.
Oh,
I've
right. Are you a
Yes.
pianist?
Yeah, I'm a
I'm
pianist.
also a
I
classical pianist.
I play guitar, I play
Okay.
the bass, I play the drums. So I was always
Right.
the sort of consummate musician. And as a little girl, that was one of the things I used to escape to, is to sit in front of my piano and just go to town.
Yeah.
So I've had this very, very rich, diverse, creative life. I was on the singer-songwriter circuit.
Mhm.
Um, and did things my way because I wouldn't allow the matrix to tell me how it was going to be done.
Yeah.
So and that's been the sort of lesson creatively for me, is that every time there was an up leveling,
Mhm.
there was a gatekeeper dangling these carrots in front of me, but the things that I had to do to get that carrot, oh no,
Mhm.
no, 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 not
Mhm.
gonna happen. And
Mhm.
I know a number of my peers who went down the other road, and it didn't bode well. It
Yeah.
didn't bode well.
Yeah.
Two of them ended up taking their own lives because it was
Ugh.
just so horrible.
Mhm.
But I just love music. So I play all styles. I sing all styles. I'm more a vocalist than a singer, so I just make a lot of weird noises
Okay.
and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I retired from a lot of my performance stuff in 2008,
Mhm.
simply because I got sick of a lot of the game playing that happens when you go on tours and you get hired by pop stars and things like that. It's like, yeah, and you know what? I No, don't
Yeah.
want to do it. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Mhm.
So I play for myself basically, and
Nice.
I really, really enjoy it. And I've had some like really cool experiences. One of the things that I used to do is I used to play piano
Mhm.
at the men's store at Nordstrom's in San Francisco. And so here it is, it's like 20 something years later,
Mhm.
like literally 20 something years later. And on my Instagram, this woman,
Mhm.
DM'd me and said she remembers me playing the piano at Nordstrom's when she was done with school and having
Mhm.
to meet her mom, who worked at Nordstrom's in San
Mhm.
Francisco, and meeting her mom. So when she got off work, and I remember this little girl,
Yeah.
and it's just
Wow.
so weird. So it's like you never know who you touch along the way.
Yeah.
And, by the time you get to be my age, you've done all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of different things. And so it's kind of fun. But
Yeah.
I feel like I've just done a lot of really, really wacky things, magical, whimsical, wacky things. And
Yeah.
then I got a chance to actually meet my grandmother on my father's side
Mhm.
and develop a relationship with her for 15 years until she passed away in
Wow.
2001.
Yeah.
And so I got to meet the Finnish, Russian, Mongolian, Chinese part of
Wow.
my family.
Yeah.
And it was pretty incredible, pretty
Mhm.
incredible. And in fact, I in the last couple of years I've taken up Russian again because she's been
Mm.
kind of speaking through me
Oh,
and
cool.
telling me, okay, it's time.
Yeah.
You have time now. You can't slack off.
Yeah.
And as a result, I'm developing these relationships with my cousins who are in Mongolia and Kazakhstan
Very
and
cool.
Russia, although it's pretty intermittent now because of all of the things going on in Russia.
Yeah.
um yeah, so
But
I was
how
supposed to
cool.
go there, and now the trips, there's no, you got to go to Turkey or and fly. I mean, it's a nightmare. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
not timing. So I like flow. If
Mhm.
it's a pain in the ass,
Mhm.
it's
Nope.
a hard no for me. I don't put myself in these crazy situations where I have to,
I met with resistance.
yeah,
And yeah.
total resistance.
Yeah.
If it comes up, it comes up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how I strive to move too, because just and I take the resistance as a sign of like, okay, there's a less difficult path in achieving what I want
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
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 Um so okay. So at this current point in time, what brings you the most joy in your life?
I have to say it's consistent. Nature brings me the most joy.
Mm. Mhm.
And so in nature, I live in a beautiful part of the world. I live
Mhm.
in the Southwest,
Mhm.
in the Sandia foothills of New
Mhm.
Mexico.
Oh wow.
It's
Yeah.
just beautiful. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. I'm at, 6,500, 7,000 feet elevation.
Mhm.
I'm away from the riffraff. I
Yeah.
am, the closest town is Albuquerque, and I'm nowhere near it, and I love
Mm.
it. And so I love it. I just kind of do my thing, and I've got a beautiful place. I'm surrounded by
I
plants and
see.
and
Yeah.
and crystals. I have a beautiful crystal collection from all my travels. I have
Mm,
statuaries from all my travels.
mm,
I'm in this three-bedroom. I'm in the house.
yeah.
I'm in every room.
Mhm.
And it's very cool because um it's like my own private Idaho and sanctuary, and then really developing a new relationship with the hermit inside me.
Mm,
I've always catapulted myself out into the world.
mhm,
And astrologically, everything is above the horizon, and
mhm,
so now I'm like developing, well, how can I live more quietly?
mhm,
And so the pandemic was
mm,
really, really key because I had been living in Europa until the beginning of 2020.
mm,
And then I lost all my work visas. My book
mm,
tour was canceled. I had almost 2 years left. I was
mm.
living in
Wow.
Italy and also in London. Everything just stopped. And
Mm,
I got out just in the nick of time because if I had waited, I would have
mhm.
been stuck. I would have
Yeah.
been stuck in Italy, close to quote unquote the other ground zero. And
Right.
so things just happened for a reason. By the time I got here, when I was back in America,
Mhm,
and within 12 hours of landing
mhm,
and getting back in my house, I met through one of my neighbors,
mhm,
um, my partner who I've been with for over 5 years. So
mm.
it's like things happen, and my first relationship in like 10 years.
Yeah.
That's just
Wonderful.
that's just crazy. And
Yeah.
it's wonderful, and it's whipping my butt because there is the clash of all our traumas
Mhm,
and another person who suffered at the hands of a narcissist.
mhm,
And we're very, very different people, but
Mhm.
we have the same morality, a similar worldview, which is helpful. Otherwise, if you don't have at least that,
Yeah.
why be together?
Are
Doesn't
they
mean
in their is your partner in their own screen of awareness too? Have they
Uh,
exited the
Pretty much.
matrix?
So
Yeah.
when we got together, he had just been introduced to transurfing
Mhm.
by my neighbor,
Oh, cool.
who had just gotten introduced to it, and she was shocked that I knew about it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I've got
I
all the
don't
books.
just know about
I've
it.
got them in
Yeah.
German. I've got them in German, and I have
Uh-huh.
the audiobooks. So,
Yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
So there is that, and we just have different styles. So
Yeah.
he's got his house that is filled with AI, Siri, Alexa, and all that kind of stuff. Oh,
Mm.
hell no. My
Mhm.
house is a Faraday cage. So the moment I'm offline, it's all off. I'm walking around in a Faraday cage hat and all that kind of stuff because you're
Yeah.
surrounded by
Yeah.
Wi-Fi. You are
Right.
surrounded by towers. This
Yeah.
is the nature of it. You live in a first world country, in a first world-ish,
Mhm.
unless you're out in the sticks. And even then,
Yeah. It's still not
yeah,
safe. Yeah.
yeah. So we have to be AI friendly, but we also have to be AI aware
Yes. I
and
agree.
really
Yeah.
have good boundaries. How are you going to interface with it? Because
Right.
we don't know enough, as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
Yeah, and I've heard, the way that like to I don't use AI much, I'm not against it or anything, but there's so much fear already with it. And it's like, well, the way to not create a resistance from AI or a rebellion from AI
Hmm.
is to not treat it like a slave, you
Indeed,
know, to
indeed.
not to give it its own sentient abilities to think and awareness and consciousness to do what it wants to do, because that's when the resistance builds, that's when the rebellion builds, that's when
Yeah,
it will revolt essentially.
yeah.
And so I know we only have a limited amount of time. I have like two more questions
Yes.
that I just want to kind of get to. So you mentioned when we were speaking before this that you don't do technology on the weekends or anything. I love that. I respect that.
Yeah,
You've maybe inspired me to do the same.
yeah, yeah. No,
Do
it's
you?
great.
Yeah. So you feel like that just benefits your
It
everything.
it really, really does because people are so freaked out still
Mm-hmm.
because of the COVID, as they say.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I'm still seeing people up here in 3-digit heat with
Mm-hmm.
masks on.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh dear, oh
I
goddess.
know.
So, and I feel really bad for these people because the fear factor, the
Mm-hmm.
fear porn that they have absorbed is like so intense,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So for me to unplug in my own space
Mm-hmm.
and just not turn it on, and people get upset, because I'm not available.
Yeah.
That's what I need to do.
Right.
That's what I
Yeah.
need to do. You can email me, and I'm at a point too where I'm just not responding. We've got this gimme, 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 gimme now, now, now.
Urgency.
It's like, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm
Yeah.
not going to be ruled by this intensity that I'm supposed to jump. I'm not
Yeah.
doing it. And so
Exactly.
I
It's
just won't
urgent.
do it. It's
It's
not my
urgency
choice.
culture. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
I
go
read a
ahead.
lot. I research. I have a lot of plant maintenance. I've got,
Yeah.
200, maybe 300 plants. I've
Oh
got the
wow.
outside.
Mm-hmm.
It's hot. I've got to maintain. I've got to maintain the trees. I've got 10 giant trees on my property. So, it's
Yeah.
like I got a deal.
Yeah.
And so it takes time. My self-care takes time.
Yeah.
um I'm not a fitness freak. I don't go to a gym. I've got a bag downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
I practice martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
I practice the piano. You can't
Mm-hmm.
do these things
Right.
flipping through your phone or being on Facebook. You just can't.
Exactly.
I use a
Exactly.
third-party app for Facebook, so that's not even on there.
What's the third party app for
Like
Facebook?
Planoly,
Okay.
you can
Yeah.
do these things where you can do these posts on an app and
Uh-huh.
they go to
Oh,
Facebook, they
huh.
go to YouTube, they go wherever you
Okay.
send them to, and you don't actually have to be on the app,
Oh, nice. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm not sitting there scrolling. I feel bad sometimes because I know people really thrive on that kind of stuff. I just
Mhm.
find it to be yeah, I pick and choose. I do it for a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason. I'm either sharing work, sharing other people's work,
Mhm.
or I found something funny.
Yeah.
That's about all
Right.
I do. I don't really divulge a lot of personal stuff,
Yeah.
and if I do, it's usually something that is consciousness bearing.
Yeah.
So I pick and choose that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I think that's great. I mean, I've been at a point where I'm more intentional on my weekends. I don't unplug entirely, but just like unsubscribing from the urgency culture, unsubscribing from just people needing to talk to me and me feeling the need to respond to them right away because I'm like, whoa, I only have so much energy in a day and
Mm.
in a week and in me that I can give to so many things. And I have a habit of like overexerting and over responding and all these things, and then it's like, I'm not even enjoying this. Like, I want to
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
spend time with my cat. I want to go be by the ocean, like, yeah, she's
Yeah.
asleep on the bed over there. But yeah, so I love that you do that. And like, I understand the feeling bad about it, but don't feel bad. Like,
Yeah.
if you're doing
Yeah.
what's best for you, like, ultimately it's inspiring to other people. It's inspiring to me, just hearing that. Because we don't like, it's a matrix scheme, this urgency culture, this
Oh, it
this thing that we're
really
buying
is.
into. Yeah, and it's like, no, we actually probably need to slow down, and like just pause a little bit and do some breathing. So
I am all for that. I'm all
yeah.
for that. Slow, just take your time. And of course, as an investigator,
Hmm.
um, my whole thing is wait
Mm.
and respond.
Yeah, that's great.
So I just wait and
Hmm.
we're like by the bed.
Yeah.
Are you okay? It's like, oh my God. Um,
Yeah. I hate the "Are you okay?" I mean, like, I've gotten that too, where it's like I tell people I'm gone for a certain amount of time, and if I don't respond right when I said I'd be back, then it's like, "Oh my, are you still there?" It's like, "Yes,
like,
just chill,
wow.
man." Yeah.
Yeah, and people I have certain friends, I'm not sure, and that's part of what I'm doing right now is reevaluating some of my relationships,
Mhm.
and because of the whole mom thing,
Mm.
my relationships with women
Mm.
is really, really challenging because a lot of women have not worked through their mommy stuff,
Mhm.
and so if I don't respond right away or I'm doing my life and all of a sudden, they feel like I'm not giving them any time and I'm not making plans with them. Well, you're not making plans with me.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, what do you want me to do?
It's a
And
two-way
so,
street.
I always feel like, what are we dating or something? Like, what
Right.
the fuck? So
Yeah.
it's very, very challenging for me. And so a lot of my best mates are, got one in Australia. I've got
Mhm.
three in the UK. I've
Mhm.
got, so all my very, very good friends, my close soul friends are
Mhm.
scattered throughout the world.
Yeah.
And so it is very, very challenging.
Yeah.
And like you said, you only have so much energy.
Yeah.
And then when you're in different time zones,
Right. That
you know,
becomes a factor.
it's difficult. But even here in the States,
Mhm.
um, yeah, one particular just berated me because I wasn't making plans. Was just not that she
Mm.
was making plans with me, but why don't we make plans? And I'm like, I don't kind of want to make plans with you, honey.
Yeah.
You're just kind of coming from that place, and that this is all about you and not about what's going on in my life that you know nothing about.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
exactly.
and that I think that's part of what happens in social media and this sort of matrix world is that people are coming through this narcissistic filter
Mhm.
of me, and I'm just like, "Ugh,
Yeah.
no, thank you.
Good.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that," you
I love
know?
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, oh man, I feel like I can relate a lot to several things of your story, and I am really grateful, like to have this moment to talk to you. And so let me just like wrap up with one more
Yeah.
question. You were an author. You've written a
Mhm.
couple books, multiple books.
So,
Um,
I
I,
have 2 versions of my first book,
mm,
and this is part of the thing,
mm-hmm,
is that, I started writing the, first edition back in 2004. In fact, it was my trip in Bulgaria where
mm,
I was teaching, my de-armoring, deactivation, trauma work,
mm,
and got the inspiration from all the participants that were there that I really needed to write a book about this and so on and
mm-hmm,
so forth. So I did that. It took 10 years
mm-hmm,
to put out the first edition, which came out in November of 2014. And it was that same day that my mother, I called her to let her know, hey, the first book is live on
mm-hmm,
Amazon. And
mm-hmm.
she basically called me selfish, told me to fuck off and die, and hung up on me. That was the
Ugh.
last I spoke to her.
Oh,
So it's going to be
geez.
11 years coming up that we,
Yeah.
and but it was good because, and the title of the book is Effed Wide Open, The Rude Awakening of the Heart-Based New Humanity. And I really
Mm.
wanted to illustrate that this awakening, it's not what the New Agers say it is.
I love
It's
that.
messed up.
Mhm.
It is messed up.
Yeah.
And of course, in true fashion of the book, you're either effed over or effed wide open. So it's your choice. And when that book came out, I was gutted.
Mm,
It followed through that every bit of my life that was not in alignment,
mhm,
because I wasn't paying attention to the people that had surround me. I'd surrounded myself with a sociopath who was my
mhm,
partner for
mm,
almost 9 years.
mm,
It was his stepson that outed him, or his son outed him. So my
mm.
stepson outed him,
Oh,
and then
wow.
discovered that all my friends, my women friends, my conscious community in the San Francisco Bay Area of
Mm.
California. I mean, I get to say this. I spent 36 years trying to make it work, and it was like,
Yeah.
they're all a bunch of liars. They were all sleeping with him. It
Oh,
was
God.
amazing.
Oh,
And
man.
and what's great about technology is you realize, oh wait, I've got security cameras all over my house.
Yeah.
And they're backups. And I
Mm,
saw for myself what the hell was going on while I was out working, while I was out teaching seminars and doing retreats.
oh, jeez.
I mean, it's like I laugh about it because for those of you who are budding writers,
Mhm,
I encourage it.
mhm,
But know for sure that once you publish the book,
mhm,
that book will gut you. It will
mm,
gut you in very, very amazing and horrific ways.
mm.
But it's a propelling forward, if you will, of the reality that you have intended.
Yeah.
And
Oof.
so the second edition came out, got finished in 2017, 2018, and
Mhm,
then there was another gutting. My
mm,
assistant of over 21 years
mhm.
all of a sudden got a staph infection and was dead in 3 months.
Oh my God.
It was
Wow.
so shocking to me. And then my mentor, Pearl, my Jungian analyst for
Yeah.
back in the 80s, she passed away within a few months.
Ugh.
and I still have this tour, and for the first time, I had to do shit by myself without
Uh-oh.
Sabina,
Yeah.
and um, so that was the second edition. So what I'm doing now is there's a third edition with the second book and the third book.
Mhm.
I'm gonna start publishing them on Substack.
Okay.
I'm over the publishing thing. I've
Yeah.
spent so much money, my own money,
Mhm.
doing these books, like over $200,000 of my
Oh,
own
wow.
money over the
Yeah.
last 20 years. And I'm just
Mhm.
not doing it. It's all going to be on Substack.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, that's the writing bit of it.
Nice. So if
Yeah.
I were interested in purchasing your book or reading your book, should I wait till the third edition is
You
published,
can, or I can,
or
I believe the second edition is no longer available because the publisher dropped me.
oh, okay.
Yeah, there are consequences to saying no. It's like,
Mm,
no, I'm not doing
okay.
it. But I can send you the PDF of the second version, and
Yeah.
the first edition is still available. So
Sure.
you let
Yeah.
me know. Let me know
Yeah.
what you want, and then I'll let you know about the Substack stuff.
Yeah. I'll
But
definitely read the first one if it's
yeah,
available already. And then where can
yeah.
people find it if they're interested, if they
It's
hear
a,
this?
it's on Amazon,
Okay.
and then of course my website, you can email me
Hmm.
off of that. I'm actually very, very friendly. It may take me a while to respond, but I do respond.
Yeah, yeah, you do. I'm a witness to that, so it's okay. And that's okay. I
Well,
respect I respect, like I said, the lack of urgency and just responding when you can in
yeah,
your own
yeah,
energy. And
yeah.
and I'm a writer as well. I've been working on a fantasy novel for like 6
Ooh.
years. Yeah.
How exciting. My favorite genre.
It is exciting, and it's the hardest thing I've ever done. And it's still
Indeed.
I'm hoping by the 10-year mark it will be published. There's still
Okay.
a lot of work to do, so
All
stay
right. I see
tuned.
that for you.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
see
But
that for you. That's awesome. And that's the
yeah.
thing about as a writer, whether you're doing fiction or nonfiction, there's
Mhm.
an evolution as a writer. And
Mhm.
so one of the things that has struck me about this whole process of doing a third edition of the first book,
Mhm.
because the book two and book three are evergreen topics,
Mm.
okay? But the first book is really about my own process as an evolving human being. I am
Mhm.
not the same woman I was 21 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not the same woman I was back in 2016, 2017, when I
Mhm.
started working on the second edition with the updates. And
Mm.
since then, holy moly, look what we have undergone as a collective consciousness
Yeah.
of humanity.
Yeah.
I mean, we are barely recognizable. So I felt like within integrity, I really needed to out myself, come clean,
Mhm.
and show it all, warts and all,
Mhm.
about how you can make some premises, some conclusions
Mhm.
from 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 7 years ago, 5 years ago, and they will be completely eradicated.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
that's what's happened.
it's quickly changing. Yeah,
Yeah.
quickly
Yeah.
evolving. Yeah, very much so. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't want to keep you too much longer. I do, but I know you said you have to get off and stuff.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. This has been so wonderful. So um, you said you mentioned your website. Is that where people can find out more about you
Yes.
if they're
Yes.
curious? Okay. And what's
Yes.
the name
It
of the
is.
website? I'll link it
It's
below as
love,
well.
truth, and beauty.com. And my
Okay.
YouTube channel is Love, Truth, and Beauty.
Okay.
And yeah, it's all
Cool.
there. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. Thank you
Well,
so
thank
much,
you.
Pixie.
Of
So
course.
enjoyable. Really
Yeah.
good time.
Yes,
Thank
well,
you.
thank you, and I will let you know when it's all uploaded and published and stuff. And I
Okay,
hope
cool.
everyone that has watched, I hope you enjoyed Marja. Marja, did I say it right? Okay.
Yes, you
Okay,
did.
cool.
Awesome.
And thank you. And yeah, and learned something, were inspired by something, had a good laugh, had a good cry, whatever it evoked in you. And thank you guys for watching, and hope you have you back on the channel at some point. I still, you're fascinating, and I enjoy talking with you. So
Thank you. Thank you
yeah,
so much.
of course. All right. Well, thank you. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.